Hi, folks. Welcome to the 29th presentation hosted by AlmonTravel, CARP, and tonight Star Clippers, held every Tuesday at 6:30 Atlantic time into late June. Please check the CARP Travel website for updates. As in the past, this presentation is being recorded and will be on the CARP Travel website shortly after. This is actually a re-recording. I think this needs to be mentioned. Cyndi Denman, who is doing the presentation tonight for Star Clippers, actually experienced tornadoes in her area last week when we did this presentation. And after we finished it, we realized that the recording had been damaged or shut off. So this is a redo of the presentation. So anyway, as I do with all of the presentations, a little bit about us. We've been in business for just about fully 18 years now, started in May of 2003. We have specialties, one of which is destination weddings. We've done 130 destination weddings across Canada, down in the Caribbean area. And where that has given us a lot of experience is actually working with groups. So if you have an anniversary that you'd like to take extended family to, or close friends, certainly we have the experience to be able to set that up for you. Also, because of our vast experience with the Caribbean area and lots of visits down there where we build in resort inspections, we have a lot of knowledge about the different Caribbean destinations and the resorts that are available, and certainly can help you with an adult-only vacation or a family-friendly vacation. Extended Florida trips, again with the family. We specialize in theme park trips, Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, and you really need guidance when you're going to these massive theme parks, so we certainly can help you with that. River cruises, 10 different itineraries around the world, 2 in Vietnam, the Red River, and the Mekong, 1 in China, the Yangtze. We've also done the Nile in Egypt. We've done the Mississippi in the United States on a sternwheeler. And we've done the Rhine, the Danube, and Portugal, as well as southern France. So lots of experience with river cruises. Would be happy to help you organize that. Ocean cruises, most popular itineraries we try to experience. We've done Hawaii, the Mediterranean, the 3 Caribbean itineraries, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, and also Alaska. So again, lots of experience there to help you with shore excursions, that sort of thing. We also help with coach tours. We did a presentation on a Newfoundland and Labrador trip, which is in our bailiwick here in the Maritimes, the Atlantic provinces, but also work with a number of the other coach companies to do tours in Europe and elsewhere in the world. Travel conditions. Well, the latest for us in Nova Scotia, which is starting to taper down a little bit, we did get hit with one of the variants, and after seeing only numbers of 5 or 6 people a day, shot up to 175 or thereabouts for a number of days consecutively. So starting to drop a little bit, but certainly it gives us warning that this COVID problem is not going away in a hurry. So vaccines, I think, are going to be the way that's going to help us to open up the world. Once we are inoculated, we should be safe and should be safe to travel. So we're also working on solo presentations, solo travel presentations, and women's only travel. So certainly keep an eye open on the CARP website for that. And please, those of you viewing, pass on word that we are doing these presentations. I know that our presenters would love to have a full house in future as we move along. If you have any thoughts or suggestions as to what we might be able to do as far as presentations are concerned, certainly feel free to pass that along as well. My connection with CARP, we've been asked and have accepted the invitation to become CARP Nova Scotia's official travel agency, representing Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and PEI. Bill Van Gorder is the COO and the Chief Policy Officer for CARP National, as well as the founding chair for CARP Nova Scotia and being the senior spokesperson for CARP in the Maritimes. Bill and I are connected in a couple of different ways. He has a Nordic Pole organization that he looks after. I am into that as well. But the big connection is when Bill had a charitable organization that he founded with another gentleman called 100 Men Who Give a Damn. We raised $400,000 over almost 4 years for local charitable institutions, and I'm proud to say that all of the money raised went to the charitable institution. There was no overhead. And being on the board together with Bill and a number of other members, I got to know him quite well, as he did me. And he booked a couple of trips with us, one a river cruise in Europe and the other a Rocky Mountaineer. So he got to see our services in action, and as a result of that, invited us to be the travel agency of choice for CARP. I'd like to now introduce Cyndi Denman, who is the business development executive for Star Clippers. She's going to be telling us about wonderful sailing ocean cruise option, Star Clippers, focusing on several Mediterranean itineraries. Cyndi, if you could take it away.
Thank you so much, Danny. It's my pleasure to be here. On behalf of Star Clippers, I'd like to say thank you to all of our partners who were on the original recording, and we're thankful that there will be many of you that get to watch this re-recording. Thank you to Danny for keeping your clients and our clients ready and dreaming. So the important thing to remember about Star Clippers is that we aren't sailing now either. So we are in the midst of resuming sailing as well, and look forward to moving forward with that towards the end of the year, this year in 2021. But I think you'll see today with the presentation about Star Clippers, that today's environment is perfect for Star Clippers. Star Clippers' unique sailing adventures. Imagine yourself on the teak deck of a timelessly elegant clipper ship, a warm breeze blowing, and Vangelis 1492, Conquest of Paradise, playing softly in the background. As the captain and his crew unfurl 54,000 square feet of sails above you, you begin to tingle from head to toe as you sail into the sunset and on to tomorrow's next hidden cove. You sigh when you realize this is the most incredible experience you have ever had. Now, won't you join me aboard the Royal Clipper? A magnificent tall ship, a glimpse of Star Clipper's flagship of the fleet, the largest sailing vessel in the world, and always authentic sailing experiences to come. When we talk about Star Clippers, the important thing that we want to remember always is that we are authentic sailing, not a typical cruise, an exhilarating, highly experiential journey on 3 tall ships, near replicas of the clipper ships from the golden age of sailing, but with modern accommodations and amenities on board. Ships whose major source of energy is wind propulsion, not motoring, which is both abundant and emission-free, a softer footprint on the environment with ships under sail. Our suggestion, refer to Star Clippers as authentic sailing. Cruise and cruising when introducing and discussing Star Clippers, the difference will be apparent. Your sailing journey is not only uniquely different, but exhilarating, fun, and highly experiential. An actual working sailing vessel with an open bridge policy and unique sailing activities to enjoy or watch with others. Journeys are created with wind charts. What that means is that we sail as the wind blows, the warm winds always, and in the direction where we can sail 70 to 90% of the time. We build all of our journeys in the Caribbean, in the Mediterranean, in Southeast Asia, and in Central America with those wind charts. It's casually elegant on board. The ambiance is for a stress-free vacation. No jackets or ties required. A more personalized experience with amenities available on board if desired. We give you personalized, friendly service. With a 2-to-1 guest-to-staff ratio, the staff is ready and willing to provide anything you need. The cuisine is international cuisine. Your clients will dine well on board with our Michelin-trained chefs, so all of us will get to enjoy that as well. All meals and snacks are included in your Star Clipper pricing. Ports of call are unique destinations with few crowds, thoughtfully designed, a combination of must-see destinations worldwide, as well as off-the-beaten-path hidden gems. Unique ports of call, not accessible to big ships, or even to small ships for that matter, authentic and uncrowded, preserving culture, history, and art. More of your favorite destinations. It feels like being on your own private yacht. It can be as busy and as activity-oriented as you like, or as casually elegant and quiet and serene. Casual and relaxed private yacht-like experience on all Star Clippers vessels. Travel with friends and loved ones, sharing unique experiences and building memories of a lifetime. So who are our Star Clipper guests? Well, that's a great question. All ages, actually, 25 to 80 and beyond. As long as you're an active adult, mobile and sure-footed with no elevators, using stairs throughout the ship, transitioning easily into and out of a tender when we anchor. Our guests are affluent, well-traveled, educated, may have been there, done that. So if you've done a cruise before in the Mediterranean, you've never done a sailing with Star Clippers, and I'll highlight all those specialties in just a moment. Our celebrations are definitely important, mobile, outgoing, and active. Our celebrations that we offer, honeymoons, birthdays, and celebration travel. As Danny mentioned, groups are traveling together, multi-generational groups, family, solo travelers, and couples. All of the above love to travel on Star Clippers, and we offer special rates for all of those folks. We want you to really take a look at, if you've sailed a river or an ocean, or even if you're an anti-cruiser, take a look at Star Clippers and enjoy the differences. And of course, sailors, boaters, and water enthusiasts love Star Clippers. Authentic sailing, open bridge policy. 80% of our guests and crew, of course, 100% speak English. And 60% of you, once you come on board, you're going to come back and tell Danny, I'm ready to go again. Where are we going next? With a continental mix of like-minded guests on board, Star Clipper's primary language is English. And 60%, as I mentioned, of our guests repeat the first year. As partners, this is significant benefit. Let's explore life on board. As the music plays and the sails go up, and you move casually from one unique destination, sailing away to the next port, you will see the sails go up, and you will navigate to those great destinations. While we're sailing, you'll enjoy open dining, open seating, dine with whom you want, when you want, during posted hours for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. An open bridge policy, which just says simply, if you're up early or up late and you decide you want to go to the bridge and speak with the officers and crew, you're more than welcome to knock and enter 24 hours a day. The captain and his officers are available to answer your questions, share the navigational chart of the course the ship is taking, and of course, for those real adventurous folks, we have mast climbing. Looks pretty scary to me, so I'm not sure, but you can climb the midship mast for an unbelievable view from 100 feet in the air. We offer knot tying and nautical talks. Try your hand or engage with the crew during the nautical talk about where we're sailing and how we're getting there. Evening entertainment, we bring local entertainment on board. It varies during your journey. When staying late in port, Star Clippers brings those local entertainment to the ship for your enjoyment. You can join us for dancing under the stars each evening, choose to showcase your talent in the guest and crew, talent show, and more. And each and every evening we have lounge entertainment as well. So beautiful entertainment and dancing under the stars. Star Clippers guests enjoy many complimentary water sports, and instruction, such as kayaking, paddleboarding, snorkeling, and more. And with that, each and every sailing offers 2 or 3 times during the week, and sometimes more. In the Caribbean and in Central America, we offer this much more often. And in Europe, 2 or 3 times you can try your hand at any of these water sports activities, or learn how to do them if you don't know how. And instruction is included. Stay fit with this fitness center on board, and enjoy the spa and relax and rejuvenate. Our marina deck on the aft of Royal Clipper allows for a beautiful time to just float the day away or engage in all those water sports. So keep in mind, if you love the water, this is the way to go with Star Clippers. Our destinations, we're going to really feature our Mediterranean destinations today, as requested by Danny. And when we talk about the Mediterranean, be sure to notice that we really do the height and breadth of the Mediterranean with 91 different destinations. The breathtaking Mediterranean with all 3 ships in 2022. We sail 5 to 19 night itineraries from April through October. Let's take a look, starting with the Western Med. So the Western Med is at the beginning of the season in the inn. We do Spain, we'll do the Balearic Islands and Morocco included in these itineraries, some 7 and 12 night itineraries. And some of those also include Malta, 2 different ports in Malta, this beautiful island location in the middle of the Mediterranean, Valletta and Goza. On to France and Corsica, the French Riviera, sailing round trip from Cannes or between Cannes and Rome, including chic Monaco and Saint-Tropez, the Amalfi Coast and Sicily. The Amalfi Coast and Sicily, we do 2 different itineraries. They include Sicily and Sardinia, sailing from Rome, as well as other locations, Pontine Islands, Sorrento, etc. The Eastern Mediterranean, 7 night itineraries, incredible itineraries to Croatia, 9 different ports in Croatia, including Montenegro, as well as the Eastern Mediterranean from Athens. And we do multiple sailings from here, actually 3 different ones for 7 nights round trip from Athens, sailing the southern Cyclades, gorgeous Greece, including fan favorite Santorini, with intimate seaside ports in Turkey. The northern Cyclades, beautiful round trip sailing from Athens, including the beautiful Greek islands of Kuşadası, Turkey, and an optional Ephesus tour, as well as Patmos, Amorgos, and the favorite Mykonos. The Sporades highlights, another great one. Some of you may recognize this beautiful shot of the church here. We used to call this the Mamma Mia sailing, and now it's changed to Sporades highlights. But this is where Mamma Mia was filmed. So the outback, very local, very intimate part of the Sporades with Skopelos, Skiathos, Dikili, Turkey, as well as the round trip from Athens into Poros, and that beautiful island of Skiathos that you see there. The new Star Clipper 2022 Mediterranean for Greece and Italy. New for Star Clipper, the ship itself, into Hydra, Monovasia, Pylos, Lepos, Lipari, Sorrento, Pons of the Pontine Islands. This is a beautiful Greece and Italy itinerary, leaving from Rome and sailing into Athens or reverse. Italy and Sardinia, very similar to the Amalfi, except for adding in a couple of other Greek islands. In Messina, Sicily, a couple of other island locations in Sicily on this itinerary aboard Star Clipper. France and Corsica, where we outline 36 biodiverse climates in France and Corsica. We sail round trip from Cannes and also from Monaco, to include Corsica, as well as from Cannes to Rome, and places like L'Île Rousse, Ajaccio, Calvi, and Bonifacio, those beautiful limestone cliffs. We also sail to the Caribbean as well as 2 ships in the Caribbean, and do a sailboat race there, and have Panama Canal, Central America, just a few highlights here. So in case that you are interested in these locations. So just to wrap it up a little bit, Star Clipper's authentic sailing experience, perfect for today's traveler. Spacious ships, few guests on board, only 170 to 227 guests with exquisite itineraries, authentic, uncrowded, and more ports of call in desired destinations. Itineraries with abundant cultural immersion, art and history to be explored. Sailing versus motoring, Star Clippers was green before green was cool. We operate under wind power. And once we announce our firm start dates, there will be those enhanced safety measures and protocols. It's smooth sailing aboard Star Clippers. Just imagine that while you're sailing on Star Clippers, you're on a 4-masted sailing ship the size of a football field, end zone to end zone, or on the 5-masted one, that's a football field and a half in length. We share this visual with you so that you are comfortable in describing the spaciousness of the Star Clipper ships, however intimate in guest count on board. With over 19,000 square feet of deck space on 2 decks, there's plenty of room to roam outdoors, as well as interior spaces to relax and enjoy. All this with gorgeous views of the sea. Built as true sailing vessels, the ships sit deep in the water, held down by a keel, with water ballast that stabilize the side-by-side motion. Cutting through and moving forward in the water versus sitting on the top of the water like a typical shallow hold cruise ship. The movement of the ship is like sitting in a rocking chair, an easy forward and back motion, which is soothing to the body. Star Clippers hugs the coastlines, not having to be in a port, the ability to drop anchor with close access to main attractions and white sand beaches. The guests quote, "I just want you to take a look. There is truly no experience as thrilling as a Clipper ship voyage. The sail away is magical. The food is awesome. The staff is fabulous. Once you've sailed on a Clipper, you'll never go back to the big ships. Sailing is for your heart and soul." Thank you for joining us. Danny, if I can bring you back on board.
Yeah, I'm here.
Great, fantastic. So there's a few things I wanted to talk with you about, Danny, if we can, and
Sure.
just do some definite, some inclusions and that sort of thing. We talked about the concern for seasickness, so we're through with that. But what I'd really like to mention to all of you folks that are listening, Danny and AlmonTravel can absolutely put together pre and post stays in all of the locations that Star Clipper sails. So in addition to that, transfers and airfare, and he can put together that complete package for you to make sure that you have everything that you need in regards to sailing on Star Clippers. He's our partner. We price in Canadian dollars, and we wanted to talk a little bit about pricing, Danny. If you have a minute, we can talk a little bit about that. I featured one of these 7-night Italian round-trip Rome sailings, and those are Amalfi Coast and Sicily. So just to grab one of those and take a look at that, what we can do is we can talk about Canadian dollar pricing from around $2,250 per person. So that is the average for an outside cabin, and then plus port charges and gratuities. You can see that if we put together groups, and certainly we can offer special offerings with AlmonTravel. So that's the way we will want to approach this, with special groups and sailings for your family, for multicultural, multi-generational, sailings. We can do all of that through AlmonTravel. So we're looking forward to welcoming your guests aboard.
Thank you very much, Cindy. I know that it's a completely different experience than ocean cruising. I have yet to experience it myself, and I'm really looking forward to checking it out. I know my wife is very susceptible to seasickness, so your explanation of how Star Clippers avoids that problem by having the rocking forward and backward rather than from side to side makes a lot of sense, and certainly would make her much more comfortable, with the idea of sailing aboard. I have a couple of comments and then also some questions as well.
Sure.
I know that I've had lots of river cruise clients, and I think this is ideal when I look at it and compare it with the river cruising. It may make it easier to convince river cruise clients to check this out. The small numbers, of course, the ability to be able to go into ports, the entertainment, and it's just I think it's an easy crossover from river cruising to ocean cruising, and of course,
Absolutely.
all of the different ports. I mean, one of the things that I was looking at when I was watching your presentation is, which places do I recognize? And, places like Kushadashi, Athens, Santorini, Mykonos, Amalfi Coast and Rhodes. Those are all on the mainstream Mediterranean cruises. But I know with you folks, being the small ships that you are, there were a lot of places that I didn't recognize at all, but your pictures just absolutely painted a wonderful picture to visit those places. What else? Okay, mast climbing. I think that's for the more daring amongst us. That's not something I would rather watch that than participate in it. So
we can lay in the bowsprit, Danny. We can go forward and lay in the bowsprit. That's not too scary, but that climbing the mast, I'm not sure that's for me.
Will they deliver a drink to me at that point?
No, but you can carry your drink out there.
Okay, so getting passengers from ship to shore. I saw them anchored offshore a number of times. How do you arrange for that?
Well, what we do is very simple. We can anchor any place we like, and that's one of the beauty of Star Clippers, in that if a port seems to be busy, we can go do beach activities and come later. We're not tied to a port schedule. So with that, what we do is, from the middle of the ship is the gangways on each side. And so we will have tenders. We'll use our tenders, and you'll walk down the gangway. There'll be 2 people there to help you into the tender, and then you'll sail away to whatever location we happen to be in the day. Oftentimes, it's really fun because on one side of the ship, you're taking a tender to the village, the island, the cultural spot. And on the other side, we're using our Zodiac inflatables and taking them to a water sports location. So you can do either or both all day long, and it's simply your vacation your way.
Now, tenders would contain how many people to go back?
They hold up to 150 people, actually. So they are our tenders. There are lifeboat tenders, and they're very large. Typically, we run them every 15 minutes. So, usually we'd have 20 or 30 people on board.
Wow. But that size, you could empty the ship in 2 trips, basically. And I'm comparing that with
We absolutely can. And oftentimes when we do our shore excursions, the first tender out will be to go meet our motor coaches for our shore excursions and that sort of thing. But it's great because we run them all day and late in the evening. That's the other thing about Star Clippers. We can stay very late in the evening because, again, we're not tied to that port schedule.
Right. I know that I've been on cruise ships where I've waited in a long line to get onto the tender to go back to the ship. I don't think that would be an issue with Star Clippers.
No, and that's the great thing about us as well. There's never a long line for anything.
Yeah.
We mentioned talking about shore excursions. Signing up for the shore excursions is done right on board. They are not included, but it's a great opportunity to see what you want to see in each destination, and you get to choose. And it's done very old school. You sign up with a pen and paper, and you just have to do it 24 hours before you get to the next destination. So,
yeah. And the various onboard activities, that's all done on board as well, too.
absolutely, absolutely. Every day you receive in your cabin a newsletter, actually the night before, and of what's happening next day, and then the timings and all of that, all of the excursions, what time they leave. We don't do any announcements on board, Danny. It's really unique. I can't wait for you to sail with us, but we don't do announcements. And the reason why we don't is because it's really like being on your own private yacht.
Wow.
So there's chalkboards in the tropical bar with times, and you have that list in your cabin. So you have everything at your fingertips. So, no need to really make announcements and disturb everyone.
That's great, because I know on some cruise lines, especially if they cater to more than English speaking, you can get announcements in 3 or 4 different languages. So
Yeah,
that's nice to hear. Yeah.
The only time we do that is for our safety drill.
Yeah.
And it's going to be in 1 or 2 languages then, but you'll be in groups and you won't have to bother with it.
Okay, sounds great. Cyndi, I'm just going to take a moment to talk about our next presentation, which will be taking place on Tuesday, May the 11th at 6:30. It's going to be a presentation by Atlas Ocean Cruises, it's a new 5-star cruise line with a focus on the presentation on an Antarctic cruise, expedition cruise. So that's going to be happening in the next presentation. Cyndi, thank you very much for redoing this. You added some parts that I found very interesting, and certainly hearing it for the second time makes me doubly interested in checking it out and trying it. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Danny. Come sail away.
Okay, bye-bye.